What's up, YouTube? So, like most of my videos, I record one version of it, and then find out something that I missed, and I have to re-record it. So, here we are. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Kansept Pretatout. Pretatout? I think that's how you say it. Pretatout. Someone correct me if I'm wrong there. I just want to clarify. I don't know if I've reviewed Kansept before. I really enjoy Kansept as a company. They make some really, really, really nice quality knives. If you've never heard of Kansept, I advise you check them out. Kansept is the premium brand, and they have a budget brand called Tenable. Kansept uses all like generally premium materials. Examples are carbon fiber for scales, titanium. They'll do anodized titanium. They'll do titanium with like mill patterns in them. The carbon will be like copper carbon, fat carbon, etc. Just a bunch of different carbons. As far as blade materials, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Damascus, S35V, M390. I'm probably missing one in there, but anyway, you get the idea. Premium stuff. Good brand. Very good brand. Anyway, also, I really enjoy Kansept's packaging. It is quite nice. I don't really like most manufacturers' packaging, regardless of if they're, obviously depending on the brand, right? Some brands you have this wide range, so you have, $20, $30 knives all the way up to, maybe $200 knives, generally $300 knives maybe at max, right? And then you have brands that are more like, I wouldn't say niche oriented, but they focus on like more premium build oriented designs. So they don't have this, they still have a wide sliding value scale, but it's not as wide as, for example, like QSP or Kaiser or what's another good example? CJRB. That's another one. I could think of a couple others off the top of my head, but I'm failing right now. Why am I failing? Best Tech. But Kansept is more of like a premium, whereas like, for example, Kansept is, I guess, think of Kansept as KB. So you have QB, which is the budget brand, and then KB, which is the premium stuff, right? You can think of it that way. Or you could think of Kansept as We Knife. So We Knife is the premium brand of Civivi. So yeah. Anyway, I digress. So the great packaging, really, really nice, nicely done. If I can get this out. Of course, I have a problem getting it out this time around. Also, just more of a personal note than anything. If my energy seems off, maybe just in general for the, I keep smacking the camera, sorry. My energy seems off for, between now and the next couple months or whatever. I just lost a very close family member on the 10th, and so it's been difficult to, just do everyday things, let alone work. So I apologize if my energy isn't where it could be, but the show must go on. I have a good support system, so don't worry. And things are progressing and moving forward. But I just wanted to allude and explain that briefly. I don't usually share too much of my personal life on here. But yeah. Anyway, so we have the Pretatout. Turns out this has a multitude of models. So you have the this is the I believe blue rose carbon fiber pattern. So that's one thing I got wrong when I recorded the first video. The first video I recorded like 40 minutes of video today. I think 45 minutes of video today. And I had to scrap it. Happens often. If anybody's ever curious, when I do reviews, happens frequently. I'll record something. I'll do like I don't know. Sometimes I'll record like 3 or 4 knife reviews in a day. Doesn't usually happen often. Usually I either record the day before a post or I record the day of a post, depending on how busy I am. And then it turns out sometimes I have to scrap them and completely do it over again. I don't usually edit my review videos, like ever. So you guys are getting legit one takes. So yeah. Anyway, the Pretatout. I gotta say, beautiful knife. I'm also absolutely flabbergasted. This knife is $93. In my last review, it said, I think it said map was like, I said map was like 120 on this. I don't know if they're doing a sale right now, if Kansept's doing a sale because of all the new models rolling in, because they're going to SHOT Show. They'll be at SHOT Show from, I think, January 20th to the 23rd or 24th. It could be off on those dates. But I can't believe this knife is $93. This is bananas. There are so many knives on the market that this knife absolutely cooks for under $100. Kansept makes gorgeous Damascus steel, and you're getting this beautiful carbon fiber rose pattern. I mean, it is a liner lock. It does have some very, very nice aggressive jimping here. Honestly, I thought this knife was more expensive. Not that that's a bad thing. So if you're, I'm gonna just say this now instead of drawing it out and getting distracted and whatnot. If you're looking for an EDC to, something really nice, really pretty, very aesthetically pleasing to the eye to carry and use every day, and you don't mind a knife that looks nice, you don't mind using that every day, I'd recommend this, without a doubt. It's got this beautiful, I would say a modified clip point blade with it's got this really nice swedge here at the top with a nice fuller in it. I could be wrong. I don't know what it's classified as on their website, to be honest with you. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's a harpoon style. I almost cut myself. Harpoon style, because harpoon style would have this swedge bit would be raised up and it would keep your finger from sliding up forward further onto the swedge. So I guess this would be a modified clip point. I don't know what their website has it labeled as, but it's got this just beautiful swedge and fuller in it. Really, really nice aggressive jimping. It is a liner lock. I think I said that. I'm not sure. Flipper tab. You can deploy it through the thumb studs. The detent on this is pretty intense, I guess you could say. I was trying to. I paused for a second there because I didn't know if I wanted to use the word intense. You can't really reverse flick it. I mean, you can. Like, I can't get enough of a purchase between the scale and the thumb stud to do it comfortably. If you have really calloused fingers, you could probably do it. I can't. It's just not comfortable for me. I mean, I don't have bitch fingers. I guess maybe they look like bitch fingers, who knows. But even then, like, it's painful to try and reverse flick. I mean, it can be done, but it hurts quite a bit. You can fuller flick this, though. So, it can be fuller flicked. It's got such a great action. The thing I don't like about this knife, and this isn't a bad thing, is it doesn't, apart from the price point, right? $93. It doesn't really have this like wow factor to me. It's really nice. Don't get me wrong. But for me personally, I don't think I'd ever own one, buy one, own one. It just, I don't know. It lacks it lacks like a certain zest that I'm looking for. If that makes sense. It's not a bad knife, and by any stretch of the imagination. For $93, you're getting a lot of knife here. You're getting, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is like an 8.5-inch knife, fully deployed. Let's see. My hand is 8 inches from middle finger to palm. So this is 8.5 inches fully deployed. It's got a great action. The ergonomics on it are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So maybe if you're looking for a collection piece, or you're looking for something really nice to EDC that you can beat on but not beat on too hard, then this might be like up your alley. This could be, you know, the knife for you if that's the case. But it doesn't really have the wow factor for me. It could just be this model. I know they make, I think there's like 5 models. There's like a PEI Ultim model. There's a shredded copper carbon fiber model. There's I think 2 micarta models. They're all the same price point, all $93. This one's really nice though. I definitely will say that the blue, the rose carbon fiber is very, very aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of there, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way of formulating it in my thoughts into words, but I don't know. It's not a bad knife. It just, the knife isn't like, whoa, that's amazing. Like, I need to own one of those. It just doesn't really do anything for me. Fit and finish on it is spectacular. I mean, it's Kansept, so, you know, I will say that they do obviously mass produce all this stuff, so sometimes you're gonna get weird blemishes and things like that. Like, it happens. It is what it is. But overall, fit and finish is gorgeous. The color pattern and general palette for this knife, I think, was done very tastefully. I think having the blue pivot accent, or sorry, the black pivot accent, I don't know where I got blue from, and then having the black pocket clip. And the black pocket clip it's not straight, obviously, as you can tell. I like the fact that it is on a bit of a curve. So it breaks up this design pattern, but enough for it to catch your eyes. So the pocket clip stands out, but it's still, you know, a relatively simplistic pocket clip. It's not a bad thing. Blade centering is, I think, solid. I think, like, perfect. Yeah. I'm curious. Let me look at can we look at the grind? I don't know if there's going to be a way without cutting myself to do this. Yeah, the grind is very nicely done. I'm pretty sure this looks like it's sharpened by hand. Hold on. I'm trying to do this without cutting myself. I don't know if you guys can see the blade there. By hand, I mean they probably have it's a guide system where I don't know if you guys have seen online, but it's basically like you clamp the knife in place, and it's got a sand block here. Imagine my thumb is a sand block, and it'll just slide up and down across the blade like this at the angle you're setting it at to create the blade bit. But I don't know if you guys can see Not that it really matters, I'm just pointing it out, just for general interest. That the tip of the blade up here, the cutting edge is slightly wider than the rest of the cutting edge. I think that's done on, I'm pretty sure that's done on purpose. At first I thought it was actually no, I guess that's, at first I was like, maybe it's, no, okay, never mind. I was gonna say it looks like it was done by hand, and obviously like slight imperfection in the fact that, you know, it's how it was sharpened, but it looks solid to me now that I'm actually paying close attention to it. The Damascus on these is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know, I'm not really sure the process in which Kansept goes about their Damascus. I don't know where their Damascus comes from. If my camera will focus. A lot of people don't like Damascus knives purely because there's a lot of upkeep, but all the new blade products on the market, my camera just will not focus right now. There we go. All the new blade products on the market now, I mean, not only will they help deter against wear and tear and just general longevity of the blade, but they'll also keep the blade from rusting. Whereas maybe, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it was a little different. Obviously, Damascus needs to be upkept to some degree. You need to be a little more cautious about the environments you're using it in and whatnot, compared to just normal, normal blade steel, normal like D2, normal 154 cm, S35, Magna Cut, M390, etc., etc. This does take a little more care, but aside from that, I mean, there's tons of blade oils and other blade products on the market you can use to, if you're ever worried about that. Obviously, people who collect knives, they don't usually want to do upkeep on their knives, which I get. From someone who has Damascus knives, I hated doing monthly oiling on all my knives. At one point I had like 30 Damascus knives, and it was literally, I would sit down and oil and clean them all, and it just kind of sucked. It was more of a protective cautionary thing. I probably didn't have to do that necessarily, but I just really enjoyed the knives, and I didn't want my investments to sorry, I'm just admiring the pattern while I'm chatting, while I'm talking. These patterns are just gorgeous, man. Another company that doesn't get enough, I don't think they get their flowers for Damascus, is Civivi. Civivi has some really gorgeous Damascus. But anyway, moving back on track. The ergonomics on this knife are fantastic. It's very comfortable to hold. If you have a big hand, it's not a problem. For $93, you're getting a lot of knife. Genuinely, a lot of knife. It's pretty simple and straightforward. It's got a very easy to use flipper tab. Doesn't take a lot of tension to deploy the blade. The thumb stud takes a lot more tension because you're trying to overcome the detent, and there's what am I trying to say here? The detent is probably somewhere, actually, hold on, it's a liner lock, duh. So the detent is there. So the flipper tab is a farther leverage point from the detent, so it's going to be easier to deploy compared to thumb stud, which is closer to the detent, which is going to make it harder to deploy. I promise you I'm smart. So there's that. But aside from that, and then you can fuller flick it. But if you're going to fuller flick it, you got to do it like way down here where there's enough room for your finger to get onto the fuller. because you're not going to be able to full or flick it up further. You're going to have to do it down here. Which, not such a bad thing. I mean, not a great thing, but not a bad thing either. But I gotta say, for $93, that's a bargain, man. There are so many knives on the market that are nowhere near as nice looking as this, fit or finish wise, or material wise, that are more expensive. And yeah, you can't, I don't know, you can't really go wrong with this. I don't think. I will say on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as like if you should purchase this, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's abhorrently mandatory. I could see this as a collector's piece, or if someone's looking for just a general nice EDC to carry day to day, that they don't mind getting mucked up. I couldn't see you like abusing this knife. I mean, it is really pretty, and a lot of people don't like using pretty knives. Granted, pretty is subjective, so some people might think this is really ugly, buy it and just beat the shit out of it. Who knows? You know what? You do you, right? But overall, very nice. Very, very nice knife. I'd recommend this. If you're looking for something that's under $100 to use every day, or just something nice to carry, or another collection piece. You know, maybe you're a big Kansept enthusiast, right? Then yeah, this could certainly go in a collection. I could see that. I don't think I wouldn't put it in mine. It just doesn't meet the criteria of what I'm looking for. It doesn't have the wow factor for me. Plus, it doesn't have the multiple deployment methods that I enjoy. I like flipper tabs, but I also like being able to like reverse flick it and do a bunch of other stuff, and it's just not very fidgety for me. But yeah, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah. I don't really have much else to add. I don't think. It's a nice knife. If you want to get it, I would recommend getting it. Honestly, I don't think it's an end-all be-all knife. Like if you're perusing at the market, sorry, the camera's shaking. If you're perusing at the market and you're like, oh well, you know, you got, you know, a couple $100 to spend, and you're not someone who's like, I'm gonna blow it on a Grail knife, like $500, $600, $700 knife, and you like to spread your money out across a bunch of different knives from a bunch of different brands, this could be certainly up for consideration. I would say. But aside from that, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, 7 out of 10. Yeah, really nice. I will say this. Aside from all that, I have to give them their flowers for doing this beautiful carbon rose pattern. I don't know how. I've never seen this before, so I've gone online and looked at buying like carbon blocks for making scales. So I'm working on my own knife projects. I assume this is custom ordered, and I assume this is made through like multiple processes of laminating different layers together to create this. I could be wrong. I'm assuming, but I've never seen carbon fiber like this that has this sort of, like I said, rose pattern, flowery pattern. It's very cool. It's very different. I think, okay, if you were like, Andy, give me one thing. Yeah, we'll do this. If you were like, one thing that would make this knife, we'll say 25% cooler, if they did this pattern in a red and black, really made it pop. I think that would be really cool. This, just specifically this pattern, a red and black variant of this pattern, or like a red, black, and white variant of this pattern. I don't see how you do the white though, looking at it. But a red and black variant of this pattern would be pretty stunning, in my opinion. I think that would really make this knife pop more than what it does. But it's still a beautiful knife. It's still certainly worth picking up if you are interested in it. No reversible pocket clip. I don't know if I covered that, but yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else that would make this knife better without having to actually change the formula or the structure of the knife itself. Yeah, I think it would just be that, honestly. Maybe a different milling texture on the scales. I'm not a huge fan of this milling texture, but it is what it is. Something different. You know, different strokes for different folks. Anyway, that's it. Get the fuck off my video. Nah, that's it, guys. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I think the next video we're going to be reviewing the Kansept Orlock. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah. Alright, dudes. Have a good one. I will catch you guys, obviously, in the next one. Drink some good water. Drink some good water. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm losing my mind, guys. I'm losing my fucking mind. The past, like, week and a half has been just... Okay. Drink water. Take care of yourselves. Have a good meal. Alright? Be kind to each other. Alright? Especially in the world the way it is right now. I think we need some more kindness. Oh, and if you have a loved one, make sure you tell them they love them. Give them a hug. Because you really don't know, you know, when the last time you're going to see them is. So, yeah. Alright, guys. Later.